Everyone, I'm Jack Dunnigan, and this is video number 2 in my series on how to create, set up, and optimize your blog. This particular video will cover the big 4 blog platforms. There are more out there, but there are 4 that pretty well dominate the field when it comes to platforms for blogging. These days are big business. It used to be more of a diary. The word blog itself is a contraction of the term web log, and originally people would set up a web log to sort of record their thoughts, like a daily journal, or people who were building a house or moving somewhere or whatever. They would just keep track of things that were going on and sort of publicize it. These days it's big business. Most large companies, even on their websites, have a blog section which enables them to update it regularly, keep people coming back. A website has a tendency to be kind of static. It's just there, but a blog makes it dynamic. It keeps people coming back to see what the latest news, information, interpretation might be, opinions and stuff like that. The most important feature of a blog is its conversation, the ability to speak rather informally to your customers, your clients, your associates, your constituents, and to get them to interact with you. It builds a tribe. In blogs, there are thousands of plugins out there that are available depending on the blog platform. A plugin is a blog platform is sort of your basic framework, and plugins are the little other things that enable certain unique features to happen on your blog. I'm going to go through all of those as we continue this series. I'm not going to go through all the thousands that there are, but I will cover the ones that are basically very necessary. Themes are color, arrangement, formatting, design. There are lots of themes out there, and help you make your blog unique. You want to stand out. There are millions of blogs, millions, and so you can't just take a generic theme and expect to attract more than initial attention. You're going to have to customize your blog. I'll show you how to do that. It's not as hard as for blogs these days are Google's Blogger. It used to be called Blogspot, and it still has that. Blogger was a standalone thing. Google bought it, and we're going to talk about Google's Blogger. Very popular, lots and lots of them out there, and it's free. TypePad is another one, been around for a very long time. Unfortunately, it's sort of waning in popularity these days, and I'll show you why here later on in this video. WordPress, it has become the standard of independent blogging that's out there. There's WordPress.org, which are the developers of the open source platform of WordPress, and thousands of plugins that are out there. Then there's WordPress.com, and that's actually a blog hosting service. It uses the WordPress platform, but it's hosted on WordPress.com rather, and I'm going to talk about the differences of that in a minute. Then the last one of the big 4 is WordPress, WordPress blog itself, hosted on your own server, which is obviously, you'll see from my bias here, the one that I prefer. Okay, Google's Blogger. Here's what I like about it. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and it's easy to set up. They've made it pretty simple. It may seem challenging, but once you sort of understand what puts a blog together and how they arrange it, it's pretty easy to set up. Web hosting is included. You don't have to pay extra for it. And some people think it might have a slight advantage in Google searches. I'm not sure that this is true, but there are people who think that that's the case. What I don't like about it, it's not as versatile as WordPress at all. It is limited in themes. It's limited in what you can do in terms of plugins. Customizing options are not as many, and it has a clunky domain address. It would be something like www.myblog or whatever you call it, .blogspot.com. That .blogspot is always going to be in there in a Google's Blogger blog. It's okay Some people do just fine with it. I'm a ham radio operator, and one of the blogs I listen to all the time, he uses this, and he has several thousand people who listen to it. I personally think it's a little clunky to have to tell people, well, here's how to find my blog, www.jackdunnigan.blogspot.com. I'd like to get rid of that blogspot, and it's worth it to me. The next one is WordPress.com, and that's the web hosting service. What I like about it is it's free. It does not cost anything at all to host your blog at WordPress.com. It uses the WordPress platform, so it has many plugins and many themes. However, what I don't like about it is it has far fewer plugins and themes than WordPress.org, and you can't move them over there. You have to use what's on WordPress.com. And you can't upload themes from anywhere else. There are lots of theme creators out there, and often they will produce free themes, and then they have a premium theme, which is even more versatile, that you can pay for. Many pro bloggers will use premium themes. I personally don't. I use only the free ones that are out there, and it's gotten along pretty well for me. You again have a clunky web address like Blogger. It's going to be www.myblog.wordpress.com, and that to me just gets in the way. If your blog gets popular and you decide you want to move it to your own server, it is not easy to do, and you need to think down the road, because some people think, well, I want to get a blog up, I don't want to pay anything for it, I want to get it started happening right now. But soon you will attract an audience, and you're going to want more versatility, and you're going to want maybe some monetization, and you need to think down the road a little bit. WordPress.com allows no monetization of any kind. You cannot sell anything at WordPress.com. You can't do anything that's going to generate money, and that's going to be a problem for most. Now, TypePad is another blogging platform. It has lots of templates that are available for setting up your blog. It has great customer support, but it's going to cost you at least $8.95 a month for one blog and $14.95 for unlimited blogs, and there are places you can do it for a lot less money than that, and that are far more versatile. TypePad again has its limitations, and if you decide you want to move it, it becomes a real challenge. You basically have to rebuild your blog from the ground up. There are address issues with TypePad blogs as well, and I don't like that. Next is WordPress itself. Here's what I like about it. It's a free platform, and it's upgraded all the time. They're always dealing with security issues and providing the best for you. There are thousands of free plugins and themes, thousands of them that you can select through that'll make your blog more versatile and will serve your constituents better. There's lots of technical support at the WordPress.org website. There are forums that'll answer just about anything. There are experts out there that you can hire if you need it, that know a lot about it, and there are people like me that are fairly well versed in using WordPress. You get your own domain name and address. Now you have to buy it, but you buy your domain name and you reserve it, and if you're going to be taken seriously in the blogging world and in the web world, you probably need to do this. You end up with www.jackdunnigan.com, thepracticalleader.com. It's easily monetized. There's all sorts of things you can do with it to make money from your blog. What I don't like about it is from the beginning, because it's an open source thing, the manuals are not always as novice oriented as they could be, and that's the reason for this series of blog videos, because it can be daunting to set up. You will need to pay for web hosting services, but it can be quite reasonable. There's a company called oneandone.com that'll do it for $1.96 a month. I mean, $2 a month to have your own service is pretty cool. If you need more publishing information on writing and successful living, check out my other blogs at jackdunnigan.com and The Practical Leader.